Well, Grace, I hear the cathedral bells ringing at 11 o'clock. Are you ready to begin?
Yep, ready when you are.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Jackie Browser. I'm from the Catholic Community Foundation. We also have Fred Roberts on the call. Many of you should know him, as well as Grace Draper from Mighty Cause. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to also be welcoming our new registrants for We Give Catholic for 2023, including St. Eugene Parish, Saints Cosmas and Damian Parish, St. Mel Church, St. Noel Church, and Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish. As we do all things with a grateful heart, let's begin in prayer. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Loving Lord, we recognize all life is a gift and a blessing, and we thank you for your most generous love. Encourage us to be persons of honesty and integrity, worthy of proclaiming the gospel in this sacred ministry of fundraising. Give us hopeful imagination and creative vision, recognizing generosity in even the smallest gift. We pray that We Give Catholic may be a miracle of loaves and fishes, where every gift shared lovingly from a grateful heart becomes bread for the multitudes, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Be with us today in all that we do, so that your light may shine out into our lives. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. We have a very exciting webinar ready for you today. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things on your profile page and on the Mighty Cause website. It may be helpful for you to head over to your profile page right now and log in, just so you can kind of cross-reference what we're talking about today in real time. And then if you have any questions, you can add them into the chat. Our agenda today, we will be talking about early giving strategies, something new for this year because we're kicking it off for the first time ever, using the text to give feature on your on Mighty Cause's page. We'll be talking a lot about matching grants and how to enter them. Matching grants are so important for a campaign, just because They give the community a time-sensitive reason to join the campaign and participate. It also shows that other donors believe in your organization's mission. And stats show that fundraising appeals can increase by 71% if you have a matching gift and you're advertising it. We're also going to be talking about different payment options that Mighty Cause offers. We have a couple new ones that we will be talking about, Google Pay and Donor Advised Funds specifically. Of course, we'll go over some resources available to you as an admin and some important reminders. At the end, we'll have a little bit of time for questions and answers, but throughout the presentation today, feel free to add them into the chat, and we'll stop at the end of every section for you to get your questions answered. Just one more housekeeping bit. This webinar will be recorded and placed on our toolkit page for you to reference later. The slide deck will also be there for you. So it is my pleasure to welcome Grace Draper from Mighty Cause. Grace is a Senior Giving Day Program Manager with Mighty Cause. And prior to joining Mighty Cause, she was a Director of Corporate Fundraising at United Way for 6 years. So Grace, thank you so much for joining us at the Catholic Community Foundation and We Give Catholic in Cleveland. We're so happy to have you here.
Thanks so much. I'm excited to be here and to share some strategies and tips with everyone to hopefully make your giving day extremely successful. So thank you for having me. And we will just jump right into it. I'm going to go off camera so that the whole screen is filled up with just the webinar. And then we will be pausing at the end of each section for section questions. And then you will also have an opportunity for questions at the end. So there's plenty of time to ask questions. And like Jackie mentioned, if you are following along on your own organization dashboard, that might help see the process and then as well bring up some more questions. So let's get started. So first we want to talk about early giving. Early giving is new this year, and we have some early giving strategies to share with you. We want to talk about what is early giving since it's new. What does that mean for your giving day? How you can maximize early giving, a little bit about the details of We Give Catholics early giving, and then some exciting information about early giving prizes. So early giving is where we turn on donations for the We Give Catholic giving site prior to the giving day. You can solicit donations early. So this is a great opportunity to build a foundation for your giving day fundraising, get to your supporters before the giving day itself, and capture donors who may not be available on the giving day to give on We Give Catholic so they can participate early and send their donation in before they get busy on that day. A few ways to maximize early giving. You can increase visibility for your organization page. This is a great excuse to be sending out the link to your organization page early. Start posting on your social media, talking to your friends and your groups about the early giving opportunity and the giving day itself. It gives you a head start on fundraising. So it's always great to start on a giving day with some donations already in and your page metrics are already updating to show that people are giving. Which encourages other donors to give as well when they see that they're part of a group who is all giving. It gives you a reason to communicate with your supporters early. Sometimes it can feel a little silly to send something way too far ahead of the giving day, but with an early giving period, there's a sense of urgency and a direct call to action that you can use to communicate with your supporters prior to the giving day. And it gives them something that they can do right there from that email or that post just to click and give in the moment. And then lastly, early giving can help you qualify for the early giving prizes. And prizes are always great for giving days. So early giving for We Give Catholic will begin November 19th at midnight. So when that day opens, they wanted to include 2 Sundays in this early giving period so that the parishioners can talk to, or the parishes can message directly to their parishioners. This is the first year of early giving, so I know we don't want to confuse donors about when they can give. So just clear messaging that this is a new opportunity this year to start donating early, using some of the things we talked about in the last slide as far as if you're not available on the giving day, that's okay. You can donate early. Using that messaging for your donors, it's okay to say, this is early giving, this is new. Here's the opportunity that we have this year. And the donate button will be live on all profiles. So like we mentioned, donors can really go in and click right through on that donate button. Of course, they can send offline gifts as well, but early giving on the platform would be the most recommended method of giving, as far as the ease for donors to just click through and give on that slot or on that page directly. One thing to note is that even though donations can begin to be accepted on November 19th, the leaderboards will not launch to the public until Giving Day. So while you are collecting donations, you won't see the leaderboards for prizes, but it will give you that head start that when those leaderboards launch on the Giving Day, all your fundraising from the early giving period will be showing up on those leaderboards. As far as the early giving prizes, there will be 9 random daily golden tickets pulled, and winners will receive 4 $50 gift card bundles to be used on the giving day to help your campaign. So that's the prizes. The prizes are $50 gift card bundles. The We Give Catholic team will be announcing each day's winners live on the event site, and the winners will also be visible to the public. We do have some tips as far as how to utilize these $50 gift card bundles. These are bundles that orgs can win and use for various things to incentivize donors or engage your supporters. So some ideas might be to throw a party or an in-person event for donors. And then supporters could come visit you on the We Give Catholic Giving Day, so you could use the gift cards to support that event. You could get everyone together and raffle off the gift cards for additional donations. So supporters could buy raffle tickets. Raffle tickets could go towards winning the gift cards. That would work best for an in-person event, but you could get creative with a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign where some donations could earn raffle entries, or you could host a social media raffle on Instagram for liking, sharing, or tagging others on a social media post about the Giving Day. There's a lot of different ways to do a social media raffle, so I would recommend doing a quick Google search about how to set up a social media raffle if that is the option you would like to go with. I think that would be the most inclusive option, and it also helps you get promoted on social media during the Giving Day, which is a great way to incentivize supporters to share and help you meet new donors as well. But again, just a quick Google search on social media raffle could help support that as well. Another thought is that on Giving Tuesday, everybody gets a lot of Giving Tuesday messaging, a lot of emails. So something great about early giving is reaching out to donors early and getting ahead of that big email day. And then again, on the Sundays, everyone will be messaged directly with the We Give Catholic opportunity. So this is a really exciting new addition this year, and we are hopeful that it works well for everybody and it gives you more opportunity to communicate with your supporters. So before we move into the next section, I wanted to check with Jackie. Do we have any questions yet?
I do not see any questions yet. I will keep you posted. Thanks, Grace.
Awesome, thanks. So we will jump right into Text to Give then. So Text to Give is another new opportunity this year. We're really excited to offer a Text to Give opportunity for the organizations. So we're going to talk about that all participating orgs have Text to Give. We'll talk about what is Text to Give, how to set it up, and what the donor experience looks like. So Text to Give offers supporters the opportunity to donate directly from their smart device, and it provides another avenue and opportunity for donors to donate to your cause. It's just a real easy, it's exactly what it sounds like. Your donors will send a text, and then they will receive a link in that text message to give. So it's very simple for the donors. As far as setting it up, you can head over to your dashboard menu. So if you're logged in right now, feel free to follow along. But when you are logged into your organization dashboard, you'll see your fundraising section. And then under fundraising, there's a section called Text to Give. Text to Give is typically an advanced feature with our normal platform, but we have opened it up to We Give Catholic this year to use as part of your Giving Day package. So there's no additional cost to this. It's a really exciting new feature that we're providing. And once you are on that Text to Give section, you will want to enter in your keyword under Create a Keyword. So you can choose what the keyword makes the most sense for your organization to use. You also have the opportunity with that little plus sign to attach the keyword to a specific campaign if you are using it for a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign. After you have submitted your keyword, it will be added to your keywords list. You can create several keywords if you'd like, but this list will provide your active keywords, and then it'll show you how many texts have been sent and how many donations have been received through that keyword. So this is a great opportunity to use multiple keywords to gauge participation. If you want some data on your giving communications, maybe create one keyword for emails, one keyword for social media, and one keyword for flyers or any kind of print materials. And then you'll be able to easily see in this keywords list which keywords are getting the most traction and which one is raising the most donations. And it may inform just how your donors are receiving information about your organization. So you can create several keywords. The one thing is that if the keyword is already taken by another individual, so if you wanted the keyword superstar, text superstar to the number, superstar is pretty common. It may already be taken. So being creative, adding a 23, since this is the 2023 year, may help. So you'll just have to kind of feel that out. But there are a lot of options for the keywords, and hopefully you can find some that work for your organization. As far as the donor experience, as shown on the page, we have some great screenshots here. They will text the one example for the overall giving event they have set up right now as a sample is Catholic Community. If you'd like to test out the donor experience, you can also text Catholic Community to 844-844-6844 as shown on the screen. And you'll be able to kind of see the donor experience as far as the Giving Day keyword. But once they send the short code, they'll receive a response with a link to donate. When they click the link, it will bring them right to the donate page, and they can just donate whatever amount they choose and fill out that page. And then we get a donation confirmation receipt in the text message itself. So it's very simple for donors, takes them right to your donation page. And I believe that is all for Text to Give. So I do see, go ahead.
We do have one question. Do you need a hashtag before your keyword?
No symbols. So the keyword will just be letters and numbers. Yep. So no hashtag needed.
One thing that you could do, and just to make it clear, everybody uses the same 844 number, but your keyword is unique to only your profile page. So when they text it, it doesn't get brought to the Catholic Communities We Give Catholic pages, only yours. And another thing, we've had people use their mascots for keywords or your parish name. So there's a lot of different creative ways. It could be something to do with your campaign. So a lot of different creative ways to create your keyword.
Yes, exactly. And then I see a couple of questions in the Q&A. Will this be available during early giving or just on 11/28? This will be available as soon as donations are open, so it will be available with early giving. That is correct. And then are donors who use Text to Give counted as unique donors? I believe they would still be associated with their email in the gift, and all unique donors are identified by email as far as the unique donor prizes and everything. So they most likely would not be unless they were using a different email. And then the Text to Give, you should be able to set it up right now. Kristen's question is Text to Give active yet? You should be able to set up Text to Give. However, it will not be active as far as receiving donations until early giving opens on the 19th.
And Kristen, if you text Catholic Community right now on your cell phone to that 844 number, you will get a prompt back. If everybody wants to try it now.
Yes. And then I see one more question in the chat. If we try to set up a keyword, would it let us know if it is available or not? Yes, it will not let you save the keyword unless it is a unique keyword. So it'll give you an error message and you'll just have to try again. Okay. Well, we can get started with matching grants. Again, we'll also do questions at the end. So if anything comes up, we can answer that later. So as far as matching grants, this is a really good tool to help with fundraising. So we wanted to spend some time with matching grants today to talk about how to use matching grants and then also how to set them up in the system. So matching grants are known to boost excitement and encourage donations. They are great. It is great to find a matching grant within your network that already exists. So looking at possibly your board members or major donors, if you have corporate sponsors, using those large donations as a matching grant instead of just allowing them in as a large donation is a great way to secure a matching grant. So for example, if you have a board member who usually gives $1,000 on your We Give Catholic Day, talk to that board member and ask, would you like to use your $1,000 as a matching grant to encourage more donations? Matching grants don't have to be, $20,000, $30,000. They can be just even $500, $1,000. Any kind of match will encourage donors to give because they know that their donation is being doubled, and that is exciting. So really any amount can be a matching grant. It's a great way to work with your community to communicate and teach them about We Give Catholic Day and the impact in the community, your impact in the community. It's a great way to appeal to their interests. So as you are working with your prospect, board members, donors, or sponsors, finding out what they're interested in the community and really using that to match them up with a matching grant opportunity for either a program that you have or just your overall mission. It's never too late it's never too late or too early really to start looking for a matching grant. We're really within just a month and a half of the Giving Day. So I would say now is a great time to start looking into finding a matching grant. Even just one matching grant can make a big difference on a Giving Day because it really gives you something exciting to communicate to your supporters. So finding something like that now is a great opportunity. And then we have a lot of flexible matching options that we will talk about when we get to the setup portion of this. But you can really let your donor decide what they want. There's options where it only applies the match once per donor, so that way the match stretches a little bit further. They can do a percentage of a donation, not just a one-to-one match, things like that. So we'll talk about setup in a few minutes. And then also another tip for finding the matching grants, you can also have multiple people go in on a match. So if you want to have maybe board members or a group of volunteers pool their funds, they can create a larger matching gift in a board member sense, the board match for the Giving Day. So a little bit about what the live matching grant looks like. When the donors visit a page with a matching grant, there will be this badge. So you can see on the right, there's a little match badge on the donate button. That's what will show up on your organization page when donations are live. It will show that there's a live match. It just marks that easily for donors. Also in the search, We Give Catholic overall organization search, donors are able to sort and filter by those who have a match. So if you have a match, it enters you into that filter. And then it kind of promotes you a little bit differently to supporters, which is a great way to get your organization out in front of everybody. The great news is that Mighty Cause will auto-calculate how much of the match has been fulfilled. So as you can see, the second image down on the right is the match badge that will be on your organization profile. And that will also show how much of the match has been fulfilled and how much is left. You can see which donations were matched and in what amount in your donations report. So when a donation is matched, it puts a little symbol besides the name so that you can see that that donation was matched. And then a grant summary block will appear on your page listing all of the live matches and the amount still available. So that second image down, that's the grant summary block. And if you have multiple matches live at one time, there will be grant summary blocks for each match. You can also queue matches up, which we'll talk about, and that gives you the opportunity to have one match, pop up after the next, so then one would be live at a time. To set up a matching grant, you can access your organization page by logging in. So again, get to your organization profile at the login. From your drop-down menu. And then if you go back to fundraising tools, just right above text to give, you'll see matching grants, and that is how you get to the setting. When you click matching grants, you'll end up on your matching grants dashboard. And when you get there, you'll see there's the plus create button to add a new matching grant. So when you're setting up the matching grant, this screenshot here is the form that you will fill out. You'll want to enter the grantor's name. If they would like to remain anonymous, you can just check hide this name publicly underneath the name of the sponsor. Underneath the value amount, you can check include match value in page metrics. That will actually automatically be checked. You want to leave that checked to include your match in the page metrics. So that way, when someone gives a donation to your organization, if they give $50, your metrics go up by $100 if it's a one-to-one match. So that checkbox is really important to make sure that your match is visible on your page metrics and the leaderboards. This signifies the total raised dollar amount will include your grant money. As far as the other settings, we have the title of the match. So that will actually be the public title. So you can name the match whatever you would like. The match donor, if it's an individual donor, may have a preference for the name. If it's in memory or in honor of someone, you can call the match, in memory of or in honor of. And then there are the options to queue. If you check the box there about queuing this grant to begin immediately after another grant completes, you can put a start and an end date for the grant. And then again, it will queue up after if you have multiple matches. If you do not have multiple matches, that's totally fine. Just you don't check that box and you can set the start and end date for the match to be the entirety of the giving day or of the early giving period. And then we also have options here as far as the match type. So the most common one here is matching a percentage of each donation. Again, most common is just 100% of each donation. You can select this option and pick any percent. If you would like to do just, a 2-to-1 match or a 50% match, so matching half of each donation. Again, that helps the matching grant go further. So you can go ahead and set it that way. You can also select to match a maximum dollar amount per donation. So when you check the box there, it will allow you to cap the amount that can be matched. So it ensures that if, for example, you have a $1,000 matching grant, that grant will not be fulfilled too quickly with just a few large donations. So you could say up to $100 per donation, up to $50 per donation, whatever makes sense for your matching grant. So you can set a cap there to prevent a few big donations from wiping out your grant entirely. We also have the option for a cumulative threshold match. So if you check the radio button here for cumulative threshold match, it will allow you to create different styles of matches if you're looking for something different than a standard one-to-one. So things like you could apply the total match when cumulative donations equal the match value. So for example, if a grantor agrees to give $10,000 only if you can raise $10,000, for all or nothing matches, we do not include the match amount in the metrics until the total value is met. If the value is not met by the scheduled end of your match, then nothing is matched. So this one's a little risky, but as far as if a donor tells you, well, I'll do a match, but you have to raise the full amount of my match, you'll want to set up the cumulative donation. You can also choose to apply a total match when a certain quantity of donations is received. So you could say the match will be fulfilled only once we receive 20 donations. So this is actually not, contrary to a lot of the other settings, this is not based on unique donors. So if one donor donates twice, that is considered 2 donations towards your match. But it's a great option to utilize if you are participating in a giving day that has power hour prizes, as far as a number of donations need to be met. So you can choose to apply the match after a quantity of donations is received. And then the third option for the cumulative donation or cumulative threshold match is to apply the total match when a certain number of unique donors is reached. So much like the number of donations, you will set a number of unique donors that you would like to receive before the match is met. So again, this goes by email addresses, so unique email address donations. Another great option to utilize if you're going for a certain power hour or prize that requires unique donors to be a high number. So just a few options there with the cumulative threshold match. Again, if that's too much, the best thing to do is just match a percentage, typically 100%, sometimes 50, but the matching a percentage is the really straightforward way to set up a matching grant. And then we also have some match conditions that allow you to set customized parameters around your matching grants, and this will help ensure that your match is applied correctly. So you can set a minimum donation amount before the match is applied. So you could say only donations that are over $50 will go towards the match. Some people like to do that instead of accepting a $1 donation that turns into $2. They prefer to set the minimum at, maybe a $15 or $20 donation qualifies for the match. I do want to note that the lowest donation amount available for donors on the platform is $5. The offline donations, you can choose to include offline donations in the match or not. So any offline donations entered in will count towards your match if you leave that box checked. If you want the matching donations to only count for online donations, you will want to uncheck that box. Another awesome setting you can work with is to include organization fundraisers in the match. So if you're adding a matching grant through your organization page, you will be able to see this matching grant option. And what it will do is trickle the match down to any peer-to-peer fundraisers that are available during your day. And that means that if you have a board member who's created a peer-to-peer fundraising page, all of the donations that they bring in will also count towards the match. If you uncheck this box, all that does is limit the match to donations only through your organization page. The last setting is just to match once per donor. So this would be ensuring that especially if you have a maximum donation amount for the match. So if you say only match up to $100, applying the match once per donor prevents someone from giving the maximum amount multiple times and using up your match. It also helps if you're looking to bring in new donors or reach a donor number goal. So applying the match one donation per donor across the match is a great opportunity there to encourage, again, new donors or unique donors. And then you'll also be able to set up match notifications once the match is set up, and you can enter the contact information for either the grantor or someone at your nonprofit who will be notified when the grant is fulfilled. And since that was a lot, we definitely want to stop here and talk about support for Mighty Cause. So as you are setting up your matching grants and other fundraisers and text to give, if you need any help, you can email support@mightycause.com. Our support team is available Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. We answer the emails in the order that they are received, and it takes probably 2 business days or so on average to get back to you. But I would say this is a great resource, going to support@mightycause.com. If you have any issues or questions about setting up your matching grant, we also have some really great support articles available on our website that walk you through setting up a matching grant with similar screenshots like I just showed. So a lot of resources to help. Okay, before we get into the final sections, I do want to pause for questions on matching grants.
One thing before we get into questions, Grace, actually, we give Catholics minimum is $10, just to let you know, to let all of our attendees know. It has been $20 in the past, and we lowered it to $10 this year. Let's see. Is there a phone number we can contact the day of for any urgent questions?
There is a phone number, yes, and we can get that to you. That is also provided when you are logged in. If you go to the support box in the bottom, the question mark in the bottom right-hand corner, while you're logged in, you'll be able to contact via email or phone. So it'll provide the phone number there, but we can get that to Jackie to share out on the day. That's a great idea.
Okay, let's see. I think I have another question up here somewhere. Oh yeah, okay, so Tim Isabella asked, can we move the matching grant to a random time during the day if gift donations are lagging?
So you're saying if you set up a match, then you could change the time once the match is created. And yes, the answer is yes, you can update the time to a match once it's created. So if you have not fulfilled the match by the time the match is ending, you are welcome to extend it for longer. I think might be the question.
Yep,
Okay.
I think so. Tim, let us know if you need a little bit more follow-up on that answer for you. Let's see, I want to make sure I have all of our questions. Fred gave us a fun fact. In 2022, which I think he means the We Give Catholic campaign in 2022, 38 of our organizations offered matching grants totaling $622,000. That's amazing. Grants were $700 and up, and grants are a fantastic way to boost your donations, but boost morale. It's exciting because community partners are partnering with you. You have some of your larger donors that have complete faith in you, and they're excited to give and be part of the day. So matching gifts are definitely the way to go. I don't see any other questions. Oh, I think we're good there. You can go to the next slide if you'd like, Grace.
Okay, great. So next we're going to talk about the payment options. Obviously, this is one of the most important things when you're receiving donations. You know, how your donors can give is very important. We've been discussing in our strategy meetings on the side about reaching all generations really with these payment options, and Mighty Cause has made an effort to really bring in more payment options on our site. So you'll notice Google Pay is new this year. That is a new payment method on the site. Our system is a smart system, put smart in quotes, but it will offer the donor only the payment options that are available to them on the device that they are using. So it will offer, of course, the standard credit card, the ACH or bank account option, the donor advised fund, and typically PayPal. But if someone has Venmo set up, if I were donating from perhaps my iPhone, the system will recognize that I have Apple Pay set up, and it will now offer me that as an option. So while you're seeing this whole list of options here on the slide, the donors will only see the options that make sense and are available to them, which makes it very easy for donors to give, and it gives them a little bit of a pared down list so they don't have to make so many decisions. The great news with this is that, again, we're reaching people who have payments in all different types of ways. I know a lot of us sometimes, if you have Apple Pay set up, I'm guilty of leaving my wallet at home. So being able to just double click my Apple phone button and use my Face ID to donate really quick is a great way to reach those of us who love the virtual payment methods. And then we also have just the classics. You can type in your credit card number. Our system also offers the ACH bank account as the default option when a donation hits a certain amount. And that is once the donation hits a certain amount that the fees are higher than like makes the most sense. It will recognize, you know, maybe anything over a couple $100 because of the fees on the platform. It makes more sense for that person to use the bank account option. And those fees I'm referencing are the credit card fees. So our donation system also tries to be smart about giving the donor the best option for their amount and for their setup. So I do want to dive a little bit deeper into the donor advised fund option. So when someone uses their donor advised fund to give, this is really more of filling out a pledge form. So organizations are responsible for following up with the DAF relationship manager and or the donor to request the actual payment of funds to your organization. So this is, again, much like a pledge. We offer the institution drop-down list includes Charles Schwab. It includes Vanguard, Fidelity, and then it will also include Catholic Community Foundation as well. And then the donor will just need to fill out the relationship manager name, phone number, and email, any kind of notes in the commitment, and then their contact information. So obviously, as you'll note, the relationship manager information is optional, so it's possible you may have to follow up with the donor, but those entering that information, if a donor is using a donor advised fund, they will realize that that is, you know, for you to contact the relationship manager, they'll have to enter that information. But if they don't have it on hand, they can still donate without it and then go back and, you know, you'll communicate with them to get that information later. So that is the donor advised fund donation form. And I believe that was all we have as far as payment options. So I do want to pause and see if there are any questions about the payment options.
We do have one question before we get to Jennifer Webb's question. I just want to let you know, if you're unfamiliar with donor advised funds, do a quick Google search. They are a very popular way for individuals to donate to organizations. And many times these donations are in very they're in larger sums. They're not just a $50 or $100 donation. They are, you know, maybe 1,000 or so. So we see this as a great opportunity because you don't know how many of your donors have DAFs. And we want to just be able to give them the option, because when you have a donor advised fund, you can give a certain amount to a nonprofit. And why not offer your parish, your ministry, your school as that option? So it's just a great opportunity for us. There's a little bit more follow-up involved, but it's a great way to steward a donor in a new way. So Jennifer asks, does our church have to have a Venmo or PayPal account to use this option? Or does just the donor need to have the Venmo and PayPal account? Great question. Would you like to answer that, Grace, for us?
Sure. Yeah, that is a great question. It's only the donor who has to have those options in order to use them. As far as your church receiving the funds, it will be dispersed as normal along with all other donations. So it's really just a payment method for the donor, and it changes nothing for you on receiving the donation side.
Yes, so no, you don't need to set up any new accounts with any of these any of these payment options.
Correct.
Angela Casey, she asked, will all payment options be available beginning on the early giving date?
Yes. Yes. As soon as the donations are open for early giving, all of those options will be available as shown.
All right, and then one question about donor advised funds. Will they be counted as donors that day, even if we don't actually get even if you don't actually get the funds that day and you get the money later?
Yes. So whenever the donor advised fund donor goes in and fills out the pledge form, or really the donation form, when they click submit or complete, that donation counts as part of your day, even if the funds are not available till later.
Yep, this would be kind of like the same situation where if you had a donor and they said they were going to donate $1,000 and they would drop off a check to you, and they didn't happen to drop off the check until after We Give Catholic, you can still put that donation in, and then you would just get the check at a later date. Correct, Grace?
Yes, that is correct. The only difference is, just to clarify, with the check that would be entered by the organization admin as an offline donation. With the donor advised funds, the donor can actually go in and fill out the information themselves. So you would not want to enter a DAF gift as an offline gift because it's already being entered when they complete the donation form.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A lot of exciting changes. We are really excited to hopefully see that these are helping all of our organizations. All right. Well, thank you, Grace, so much for being here. Grace is going to stay on until the end of the webinar. If you have any other questions, we'll take questions. We're going to go over some reminders now, but we will take some questions at the end. So if you have a question in the chat, we will get to it when we're all finished here. Just some reminders for everybody. We have a couple of pre-event contests coming up. We have our team photo contest, which the deadline is October 23rd. This is a very, very easy contest to enter, and it is our way to help you get your team organized, because you can't do it alone. You're only one person. So get your team organized, snap a quick photo, send it to me, Jay Browser at Catholic Community Foundation, and you will be entered to win $500 for your organization. Our next pre-event contest is our matching gift, which normally we announce these one at a time, but because we spoke so much about matching gifts on this webinar, we decided to give you a little head start. We will have that deadline. That deadline is October 30th. And more information about that will be coming out in emails. But we're really excited for you guys to go out and get some matching gifts, because it helps your campaign so much. Just as another reminder, early giving opens Sunday, November 19th at midnight. So you're able to begin taking donations Sunday at Mass. And we did that, we organized that, set that date specifically for you. If you don't follow us on social media, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Anything that you have.
Oh, sorry. I think Fred was on. And then make sure you tag us as well. Hashtag We Give Catholic. And then of course we have our nonprofit toolkit resources online. We have our on-demand trainings. We have FAQs, templates, logos, photos. I mean, we have so many resources online, and we're constantly updating our graphics all the time. So make sure you head over to the We Give Catholic page and find all your resources there. This is the last training session for We Give Catholic for this year. We will have lots of emails and communications going out, but this is our last webinar. So thank you all for joining us. All right, now to finish up with some really important questions. When entering offline donations, will that be open on November 19th? Also, will there be an option to hide the amount but still show the donor's name?
Yes. So the offline donations will be open November 19th. And there is an option when you are entering donations, and this option stands for donors as well. When they're giving a donation, they can hide both their name and the amount. They can hide just their name, or they can hide just the amount. So there are some checkboxes involved there that would help them choose the option.
Yep. And just a reminder, in that early giving period, on your profile page, you will not, donors will not be able to see the amount. So like the thermometer of what you've raised so far, they will not be able to see that amount. You'll be able to see that on the back end as an administrator. But so that will not be available. And that is so the giving day still has that 24 hours of excitement. And also to follow up on that question, so many of us get so many offline gifts that on the day of, sometimes it's really stressful getting all that cash and checks entered. So this gives you more time to enter all of those offline gifts. Let's see, our next question. Will the donor advised funds be for someone who wanted to do a monthly donation?
There's actually, well,
I'll answer that. We have
Sure.
turned off recurring donations, so we don't offer that. But can a donor advised fund come monthly, Grace?
That's up to kind of you and the donor advised fund holder. If they want to do payments monthly, since they're paying directly to your organization, you can set up whatever kind of payment plan that they would like.
But that only that first donation would be applied to your We Give Catholic amount, correct, Grace? If they set something up monthly, that would be just separate.
Yes.
Okay. So where do we find the resources? Maybe Fred can put that direct link in the chat to our toolkit on We Give Catholic. Let's see here. Oh, Well, thank you so much. Grace, you added it for us. Thank you.
Yep.
Um, I don't see any questions in the Q&A. Well, maybe we'll wait a couple more minutes to make sure that all of our questions are answered. You can always feel free to send Fred or I an email. And if it is an actual website, you can, like Grace said, you can go to support@mightycause.com. They are absolutely fantastic answering questions. Please, 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 if you could fill out the survey that is in the chat box, it would really be helpful for us. Mighty Cause works really hard on these webinars to get you the information, and we want to make sure that we answer all of your questions. It'll only take 2 minutes, so please click on that survey form right there in the chat. We'll hang on for a couple more minutes, but thank you so much, everybody, for coming to our We Give Catholic webinar, and we are very, very excited for this year's campaign.
Jackie, I see a question in the chat about the offline donations, whether they will count towards prizes.
You're muted, Jackie.
Okay, I'm going to reply to her with a link right now.
Okay, excellent. I figured that was probably a good question for you.
Yeah,